Hello, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the Reviving Malaysia Tourism Virtual Summit 2021 and To Recovery and Beyond, the way forward in tourism. That's our next topic. And we have four very interesting gentlemen on our panel this time. Two of them are chefs. So let's meet our panelists. Muhammad Hisham Tan Abdullah is the president of the Malaysian F&B Executive Association. He is the major driving force of MFBEA and the go-to guy in all matters relating to the food and beverage service and hospitality industry. He's a co-founder of the International Food and Beverage Association and established the MFBEA Culinary Division in September 2019, whose prime objective is to enhance the standards and raise the image of the industry and the professionals. Our next panelist is Chef Bob Kamarudin Adnin, the president of the Professional Culinaire Association Malaysia, accepted by World Chefs as their national member association for Malaysia. PCA is also involved in working closely with the Malaysian Association of Hotels and the Malaysian Food and Beverage Executive Association in organizing Culinaire Malaysia, the main national culinary competition in accordance to the competition guidelines and rules of World Chefs. And PCA upholds humanitarian and sustainability work through their close partnership with the Food Aid Foundation by providing food to the needy and underprivileged on the annual International Chef's Day. Chef Bob began his food journey when he was just 18 years old at the PJ Hilton and worked on cruise ships before moving on to Jebel Dana Resort Abu Dhabi, UAE, and Khartoum, Sudan for 2 years. Chef Bob is currently a full-time consultant chef and host of his own cooking show, Chef Bob Cooking. Our next panelist is also a chef, Chef Yao Kok Keong. He is the President Ambassador of Liaison Asia World Association of Chefs Societies. Chef Yao won the gold medal in Culinaire Malaysia in 1995 and subsequently at the FHA Singapore, and is a co-founder of the Professional Culinaire Association of Malaysia. Our final panel member is Mr. Chin Chi Seong. He is the National Vice President of the SME Association and also the National President of the Malaysia Cross-Border E-Commerce Association. He was the Honorary Chairman of PICOM. The SME Association has been organizing events to educate, elevate, and expose its members as well as small and medium industries, enterprises, and businesses in Malaysia. It also actively engages in dialogues with the various ministries of the Malaysian government to reflect and provide feedback on the needs and improvement required for stronger and more professional small and medium industries, enterprises, and businesses who represent 99.2% of the Malaysian economic establishment. Let's begin. Your moderator is Frida Liu.
Thank you, Dato' Yasmin, for helping with the very long introductions of our very established gentlemen. Of course, you know, our topic today, I'm Frida Liu, and our topic for the Industry Association segment is about recovery and beyond and the way forward in tourism, because we can only look forward right now, right? So 1 year ago, the hospitality industry faced the greatest nightmare in history. Without a doubt, 2020 was a challenging year for all businesses, particularly the tourism industry. And besides the lockdowns, many businesses experienced layoffs and shifted to work from home permanently, and that was a handbrake that interrupted many supply chains, which caused a collapse in the global economy. So again, joining us this afternoon is Mr. Hisham Tan, President of Malaysian F&B Executives Association, Chef Bob Kamarudin, President of Professional Culinaire Association Malaysia, Chef KK Yao, President Ambassador, Liaison Asia World Association of Chef Societies, and Mr. CS Chin, National VP of SME Association Malaysia, where we'll be discussing about our country's recovery and the way forward in tourism, because, you know, let's just look forward, right? So our first question is, without doubt, as we know, 2020, tough year for all businesses, particularly the tourism industry. Will the hospitality industry and travel-related businesses recover in 2021? And I'm asking you this, is where do you see the green shoots, you know, where there's grass growing, everything? Maybe we'll start with you over on the other end, Mr. Hisham.
I think currently in year 2021, with still the lockdown implemented by the authorities and no interstate travel, I think local domestic tourism industry is badly affected.
I can't hug your
Because
tissue,
the hotel
but
industry,
normally I would.
business-related industry, depends solely on the local tourism market
Right.
itself. But without interstate travel, most of these hotels industry are barely affected, and they do not have any alternative revenue. If without that, then they can't save the jobs of all their employees that currently they employ. So for that, I forecast that maybe in Q3 of 2021, or in coming May and June, where most of us are going to get vaccinated, hopefully the interstate will be allowed. Then the domestic tourism will start to pick up.
Right.
So, but if we don't get it in time by May or June, then we're going to see more deep downfall
Right.
and badly affected as well.
Right.
So,
Okay. Chef Bob?
Yeah, I'm looking in different way. If you see now, currently, let's say in Bazaar and Buffet Ramadan, right? The hotels start to picking up, guests coming in. I think it's a good sign now when they open this Buffet Ramadan, but definitely we need to follow the SOP on all these
Right.
things and be part on that also. A few we are affected with the chef, we are jobless now, but in other way, they start to think in different way to become a new entrepreneur, a
Right.
small entrepreneur to become their business. So
Okay.
that is good sign also.
Okay, that's a good sign. At least they're coming out to be entrepreneurs
Definitely.
and all that. I'll bring up that point about you saying buffets, and I'll refer to an earlier conversation we had with someone. They said it's okay in the Klang Valley where there is volume, but whether it's outside the Klang Valley where we don't have that kind of volume, maybe it's a different story. But anyway, I'll ask you that question. Chef Yao?
I optimistic
Okay.
as as a hotelier or as a restaurateur. We are resilient. I can see it's like the business and the confidence is come back a little with the help of the festival that is coming soon. And hopefully from there, the momentum is carry on, and more confidence will be built, and more help will be on the way.
Right.
Of course, vaccination is one of the key points in our business. Yeah,
Alright.
looking in that.
Mr. Chin?
I think if you look at the current situation, I agree with the first panel speaking. The business won't be picking up so soon as a whole. There's many reasons. Number one is the vaccination. We talk about vaccination. So from the figure we get from the ministry, the vaccination rate is too low. There are a lot of suspicious.
Right.
A lot of people do not want to take. If you look at not even the confidence level is one thing. The second thing, the supply of the vaccine is not enough. From what I know, we will fully get 80% vaccinated by 2023. From the figure now that we get from the ministry.
Right.
So you won't help us in a way if we still reluctant to put ourselves to go vaccination. Right. That's number one. Number two is that let's talk about the cross-border, even the domestic. Right. So what we have proposed to even the YBKJ that you should allow interstate travel as long as vaccinated. You give me a vaccination license. So, but that was in the consideration of of him that he will consider this fact. I talked to him in a meeting that we have. I said, if we are vaccinated, why don't you allow us to travel, right? So by then, how can we overcome this situation for the tourism and hospitality industry? Number one, the government should allow some certification,
Right.
such as pandemic-free
Right.
tourism spot, pandemic-free hotel, so that you can go. You can certify in a way, through some procedure, through some IT solution that implemented, with some digitization tracking system. What do you have to allow such tracking activities to certify the tourism spot, especially the tourism spot. I was with someone having a dinner last night. He just told me, I closed down my two tourism
Okay.
company in Sabah. Even in Sabah, in KK,
Right.
he has to close. Say there's 1 year no business, and he has to lose like $500,000. So how could they survive, and how could they recover? So many help needed from the government. So that's why we are here to help to gather more information for industry
Right.
from all of you, that we can propose what the best for the industry.
Right. Encik Hisham was very optimistic. We say May, June, right? And I think, like, I know there's talk of supplies. No, they talk of supplies and everything, so, hopefully the adoption and the acceptance rate will happen a lot faster as well, right?
Right.
So as domestic tourism becomes the focus, right, how do we prepare the hospitality industry towards recovery and beyond, right? And maybe we'll zoom into F&B and culinary. What can we do in preparation for that? Chef Paul? Okay.
I think for time being now, we also have collaborated with this World Chef that we have to develop is a few chef. I mean, online. Maybe they don't have can't to do in practically, but they can do in online. So like to get certificate is online to sharpen their skills in terms of cooking. They can collaborate with share the recipe, and doing cooking in the home is online. So I think this is a good sign. I mean, new way to learning. Maybe I think about 60 to 70% is not really accurate, because we still need have a guideline people to teaching in practically. But in other way, I think starting to learn. They still can continue in culinary side.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Just before we get to your thoughts, Chef Yao, you have a cooking show still?
Yes.
Okay, and that has been, I guess a lot more people are watching it.
Definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's one thing, right? Your thoughts around this? How can we prepare for domestic tourism for recovery?
It's a long and hard route that we have to be embarked on for sure in this business. But the taking stock on what the chef is doing in Malaysia, particularly like Chef Bob, that's I encourage people to support, and that's give a lot of calmness and education for all folk of life. Yeah.
Right.
So beside that, we have to continue to work the best at our kitchen or the restaurant to keep the numbers in order.
Right.
Yeah, that we can pay all the bills, of course. But I think here is something we can do more in the culinary point of view is that while waiting of the business to come back, of course, we can work on a lot of things that is beyond, like, working on more sustainable food to be on the tables,
Right.
and probably, managing more efficient energies, and that's working with the local farmers, putting more local products on the tables, working with them to put the food chains in the right place. I think that is something that's for the chef or culinarians in the next so many months
It's very
they can
interesting.
work on.
You can use this opportunity to be a bit more sustainable, right? And then supporting local producers and all that, right? I just want to ask you as well, when we talk about the SME space, and of course it covers the gamut, right? But more into the supporting the travel and tourism industry or hospitality industry, how have you seen them been affected by this?
I think everybody is affected.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it, right? How can we make use of this very special moment? I'll say special moment means it's somewhere we haven't seen before, right? There are many things we can do.
Yeah.
You mentioned about the culinary, especially the chef services. There are a unique thing I can suggest to them. Do something unique, something you never experienced. I think there are some hotel or restaurants have been doing that in other countries like Singapore or Hong Kong. right? They managed to turn a hotel in Hong Kong with a 20% occupation rate to 80% with only the local
Okay.
patrons. So how they do it? They probably a special package. They call staycation,
Staycation? Yeah.
right? The staycation project. I mean, the package will put out a lot of thing inside there for you to come and work through a weekend. You know, you get a special food. You know, you don't bother about what is happening outside. You know, just enjoy.
Right.
So those are the things that I think we can do. Now, how are we going to make use of all this? The government actually helping you. Number one, there is hiring incentive. A lot of people have lose a job. So now you can see that you probably have a good plan to move forward. Then you hire some people. By hiring these people, you will get paid by the government for 6 months.
Right.
Beside that, they also a training package from Perkeso that are given to you, 4,000 and 7,000, depend on categories. So those are free money for you to utilize, to train those people. Maybe you have a culinary course, you know what, you can put that in. And that's where they want to help you. The government is putting 2 billion there to help all of us, especially in this industry. So make full use of it. Then come the other part, digitization, digital marketing, right? That portion also, there are some grants available. Whether small or big, they are available. Right? So make full use of that, and you can start growing your business. And then even the economy is, we know this will never go away. Even tomorrow, no COVID-19, COVID-20 may come in. We never know.
Right. Right.
Right? We never know. So, but this is where we have to live together with the COVID.
Right.
So how we're going to live together is where we have to come up with some very special kind of packages or whatever way to move forward. You know, I mean, every industry have their own mind. You know, how we want to move forward.
Right. Chef Bob was saying that he was seeing more entrepreneurs now.
Yes.
More
Right,
people
right.
coming out there. So I know we talk about the vaccine and we're hoping that it'll happen, right? And I explained to me a little bit about Malaysia, how you have F&B and culinary competitions. And I guess that was a big attraction for the economy and for the industry as well. Do you think that will come back soon? Is there something that we want to see it happening again? Encik Hisham, you can answer that as well.
I've just been told earlier, when we came earlier, that the Culinary Malaysia for 2021 is still ongoing.
Right.
It will still be taking place in KLCC itself,
Right.
the main venue itself. But it depends, maybe they will shrink down the entire competition, numbers of participants, because we're going to have less face-to-face contact. Maybe only the organizers, the judges, and participants will be allowed. That's about that. But at the end of the day is also we have to bear in mind that the standards SOP of 3W and 3C must be practiced strictly during all this competition, because we do not want to create a cluster during this competition, and we'll be put to blame. The industry player will be blamed for doing that, everything that. So a lot of things we have to do a deep thought on it, how to plan it out, because the numbers of participants will definitely reduce with border not being open. The excitement of bringing the international participant to this year Culinary Malaysia will be a challenge. So we have to look into alternative by bringing out the best of Malaysians to come forward and taking part.
Right.
Some previous years when we have Culinary Malaysia, Malaysians tend to stay away because they're having the phobia of not able to compete with all these international competitors. It's a very bad mindset. But maybe for 2021, it's an opportunity for us to showcase the entire Malaysian challenge for Culinary Malaysia. Let's build out the Malaysian talents for all the culinary section of competition, the food and beverage services competition, and see how can we guide them and group them become a better equipped to face the international life as a hospitality players.
Right.
And also they said competition is added values to their self to bring out the best of themselves for their career advancement itself.
Right.
That's
So they're taking this time to rebuild, and you know,
Yes.
just the earlier show, just the
Yes.
earlier segment we had. You know, now is the time to maybe work on your skills. Anything to add, Chef Bob or Chef Yao?
I think here is that hospitality, trade fair, and exhibition, of course, is a big part of the MICE business, which is the revenue for Malaysia. So it's integral part of tourism business. We have quite a good, events and exhibitions company out there. They are working very hard. Yeah, for trade fair and especially this Food and Hotel Malaysia, which is will be on from 21st until 24th of September 2021. In a smaller scale, exhibitions will be blended, which is live streamings from our partner from overseas. Yeah, that's also will be into the culinary competition as well.
Right.
So we have some judges or participants that, this is their training ground or their hunting ground. They cannot be here this year. They'll be probably having the live streaming. They will give a lot of live for the exhibitions, and from here, I think they will be carry on.
Right.
For the future or more exhibition will be coming.
So, Mr. Chin, around this as well, right? Hospitality trade fairs and exhibitions, right? Where hospitality-related businesses rely very much on showcasing their product profiles, right? How do you see that changing? And sometimes it's not the obvious ones, also the other industry supporting it, right? What do you see happening in this space?
I think a trade show or even exhibition have to go on, maybe in a different way, right? Now you have this digital platform. You just think of some innovative way. A good suggestion is like what Jay Shang said, that you have a competition among the chef, local chef. You promote local name, you promote local product. I think during pandemic, during MCO, all of us are hungry to eat. We want to try some new food. We want to know more things. From the internet, you can see every day there are people who send you some nice picture of even nasi goreng, a special recipe, and then you go and find.
Right.
So this is where you can promote. Right? I mean, doing such a trade show has to go on. Right? It's just that you're doing a more innovative way. And that is where we should look into.
Right. Anything to add, Jay?
I think also because of this competition also, hopefully by the time September, during Culinary Malaysia, hopefully the authorities or government will lift up the interstate travel.
Right.
Because we're going to bring in competitors from Sabah and Sarawak as well.
Right.
Even Penang, Malacca. If they
to
can't
travel overseas. They
Yes.
travel overseas from Sabah, Sarawak.
If people like Penang industry player can't travel down to KL
Right.
for the competition, then it defeats the purpose.
True.
Then you only have the Klang Valley. Then the wow factors is not there already. So you don't have a competition over digital platform. It's possible. But it be difficult because there's no personal interaction. Because on these competitions, especially on culinary side and even on beverage side, you need to have a little bit of personal touch to see how they prepare the mise en place until the end result of the product. So digitalization maybe in the cook show, yes. But in the competition, not say it's not possible, it's possible, but it will take time for us to set up the criteria right before we can do it on the online platform itself.
Because you have to smell it, you have to touch it.
I think just how we mentioned about this. I mentioned earlier that vaccination certification. That I think it will happen.
Right.
That means once you're vaccinated, you can travel interstate first.
Let's hope.
The second go overseas. So we are pushing that. I think YB KJ is very supportive on that.
Right.
So they are looking into that. So hopefully by then you should be able to do
Let's
that.
hope it's interstate will be happening.
Yeah, it should be happening
by then.
You just vaccinate, you then can travel. What's wrong with
Maybe the
that?
RTK antigen can be allowed.
Yeah.
Because for them, because we are just within our country, everything.
True.
Of course, we would like to make sure that their health is our utmost priorities before they come in to take part in the competitions. That's for that.
Right. I want to ask you as well, before we get into this, the topic of digitalization, have you seen, and we've had our conversations throughout the year. It's always been very, very down and very miserable, right? But do you see anything that's promising and optimistic that's happening with businesses in this space, probably in the hospitality, SMEs that have sort of done things a little bit differently? And of course, all of you can also share what you've heard.
I think it's sad to say that our Ministry of Tourism are not really putting much effort, or maybe they're just going to find a solution for that. Of course, we have to start looking at what we can do.
Right.
You can't just rely on the government.
Right.
Right. In fact, the first thing they should do is to support an association, put out some good portal to promote the product. And for all of us, even a chef, you have limited resources to spend money. to do digital marketing, right? Then they come up with this grant, matching grant, 5,000 to 5,000,
Right, yeah.
grant. But that is not good enough. I still got to come up with money, number one. Number two, it may not be effective if I do alone. So if there's an association like MATA or any other association or chef, your association, that could be allocate some fund for you to promote. That'll be good, right? Then you know where to put your money. Not the government will tell you where you should do. And you do individually and do in a group is different. And for like this event is very good, Hapa. So these are the things that we need to do.
Right. To be innovative as well.
Yeah, to be innovative.
To be innovative. Anything to add, gentlemen? Chef, yeah?
Definitely agree with Mr. Chin here. Is that there's a very good noble thinking of matching fund
Right.
on digital transformation in our country. Yeah, it's just that they are not better targeted, like working with the associations that they can put their member together. Let's say a restaurant, how they're going to make much effect or impact with themselves alone.
Right.
Let's say 5,000 to 5,000, probably I just changed my POS system to the new one.
Yeah.
That's
It's
about
got-
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? So what
5,000.
they
Doesn't
come
help, yeah.
what
Doesn't
they
help
come
much.
with it. So but with the pool of resources, probably that may make a bigger impact in getting the
Promotion effective.
effectiveness.
Yeah.
Anything to add, sir? No?
Yeah, I think I agree with whatever Chef Kiki also. Even me also, I also be part on the Malaysian Master of Malaysian Cuisine.
Right.
So we are also promoting Malaysian to others, especially the food. We engagement with this MAFI, Malaysian Agriculture Food Industry. So we need this with government more connections to help us. I mean, to give some support and in terms of financial or equipment or something like that to boost up more. We cannot stop food. We cannot stop to promote. I mean, I'm talking
Right.
in terms
Right.
of culinary and in terms of food. So I think this is a good platform. I mean, we need to think in different way how to promote it and how to make it things happens slowly. I mean, definitely people said slowly but surely.
Right.
Yeah.
I think in Malaysia, digital transformation for hospitality industry, I think started many years ago too, at a slow pace
Right.
compared to other ASEAN's region, But sadly, in 2020, we are barely hit, not just Malaysia, but globally. So everything digital transformation is just put a stop. They are looking for alternative everything. You look at some of the hotels itself, or even a restaurant, they actually have their own apps. So this is how online for reservations, everything. But if we specify to the F&B outlet, those standalone restaurant, which they are used less of all this digital transformation, this is time where they can look into, work together with all reliable restaurant operators
Right.
to come up with an app
Right.
that they can do a cost sharing, centralized reservations, layout to be featured, digitalization menu, everything. So basically, you have less physical contact when the customer arrives at your restaurant. Everything is been pre-ordered, and then the moment the time you speak arrive, what time? It's 8 o'clock. It's very similar to the Chinese New Year gathering in a restaurant, in a
Yes.
hotel restaurant. Everything is been pre-planned. You book, you pay.
Right.
And you are giving certain hours. If you say your
Right.
dinner starts 7 o'clock, it's 7 o'clock. 15 minutes late, your table is away.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is the things that we have to look.
Which is a good habit to have as
Yeah.
well. Anyway, right?
Yeah.
To turn up on time.
So it evolved. The entire F&B scene and hospitality scene in Malaysia, beginning of late 2020 now, start to evolve tremendously. So I think we'll take another, maybe by year 2023, hopefully the entire digitalization for the hospitality industry, be hotels, travel agencies, even the restaurant itself will transform tremendously. We'll see less contact, physical contact to your diners' tables, everything there.
Right.
The dining etiquette will change, the service etiquette will change, everything will change. You can see more stringent SOP be in place, everything there. We cannot just take things for granted. Like they say that nobody can tell when this virus will just go
Right.
of everything.
You mean the AI is taking over? Or?
The AI.
I don't think AI is taking over. I think recently I heard that one of the medical center, they actually invest in the robotic to do misting.
Right. Okay.
You see?
I still want to talk a little bit about digital transformation, but before that, I want to talk about marketing, right? How clever are we in marketing or leveraging in marketing? Just a couple, because obviously you can only travel in Selangor, and then I went on the trip in Kinchan, right? And of course, you've all seen the photos by the haystack, and you know what one of the very famous photographer has done is that he doesn't cook; he just gets the best chefs in town and have that experience there, right? And it was brilliant, right? I mean, and now you know I wouldn't have gone if I could travel, right? But now I've seen another part. It's like, wow, this is great. How are we in terms of marketing? What we have anyway, right? Anybody has any thoughts about that? Miss, maybe I'll start with you, Mr. Chin.
I think
And can we use that money for digital transformation?
In fact, you're talking about the digital marketing is the
Right.
key for
Right.
even F&B business.
Right.
You know, a very simple example is you use YouTuber or food blogger, you know, or influencer.
Right.
You know, I know recently I went to one curry mee shop
Yeah.
in Pandan Jaya. It called Chia Ling. It was easy to get a table, sit down there, have food.
Right.
When one food blogger went on and sent some YouTube out, and habis. I got a queue, and I couldn't get my curry noodle until MCO.
Right,
So
right.
easy to get. So these are the things happening. A simple thing like that, you know, it may not cost you much, for instance, right? But you see what kind of level of promotion you're doing. Yeah? Even today, I went to a lunch place in the Mid Valley, a restaurant called Sage, right?
Yeah.
And it was a fine dining. During lunchtime, is almost 70% full. Right? I mean, there's business there. There are people who want to do. But how he probably used a certain good marketing tools. He think that will attract people come to the restaurant.
Right.
Right. Then again, like what Sham was saying, you know, you can order your food earlier. You can book your place. Then you can even state what you want, so that the restaurant can prepare fresh product.
Right.
The fresh food is very important. Right. If you know what you're going to sell tonight, then you can prepare your food earlier. Two things: you save your cost, save your efficiency. Right. And then also you do not have to stock so many. You know, the kind of dishes, whatever you need, ingredient, whatever. So the digital transformation is definitely going to help a lot, and especially marketing side. You must make use of whatever you have.
Right.
Right.
And of course, your product has to be good. Ultimately, it has to be
Yeah,
good, but then supported by marketing and all that, right? Any thoughts, gentlemen? Jishan?
I think marketing is the key to any business to success everything. I think every players have to leverage in each other's strength at this pandemic moment to sustain their business, everything there. Before the pandemic, everybody would be standalone. But now, most of them know each other. They can work together and say, okay, what is your strength?
Yes.
Okay, then I can say sharing of kitchen, centralized kitchen,
Right.
because you bring down your operation cost as well. You know, so you can do a mass production of sauces, everything there. But the finishing is all done in the outlet itself there. So it helps a lot. So you can do your marketing, you synergize together your marketing, everything there.
That's one good thing from the
Yeah.
pandemic, right? I see more of
Because
that happening.
You can use, instead of retrench your staff, you can use your staff to do the delivery, food deliveries, everything. So you work together because, okay, one help line to call in for restaurant A and B, okay, this restaurant will send this food, this restaurant send. So you don't have to depend of outsource to other people. You're using your internal staff, we have license with motorbikes, you know, valid to do the food delivery because they know best. And then you also can ensure the quality and the packaging, you know, and then the food will arrive to your customer doorstep, you know, in a nice packaging without being, you know,
Right.
sometimes you arrive, you see that somebody has opened up, no proper wrappers, everything. So all these things they can look around and work together hand in hand, you know. Let overcome in 1 or 2 years' time, you know. Then by the time when we are more stable, you know, then you can fall back to your own business plan itself.
Right. Okay.
I think fully agree on that. You know, Grab is charging 30% for restaurant owner. It's crazy, right? And then because of that, you cut down food. I used to have this amount of food, now I less 30%. And then they charge you on delivery also. So it's not so nice. But if you can direct order from a restaurant,
Right.
then using Lala Move to sell,
Right.
it's much cheaper,
Right.
right?
I think I can expand from
Okay.
there is that I mean pulling resources together and working on each other's strength is like probably some shared kitchens, you know. Like what probably we have a small restaurant that is that, you know, we pulling in some restaurateur that we put together our menu and we sell in different restaurants in one single outlet. So it actually reduce your overhead costs and
Yeah.
rental. At the same time, if that worked out, so you can actually replicate more of this sort of operations.
It become a new business model in
Right,
future
right,
itself.
right.
Yeah,
So-
so by doing, by pooling the resources also means that you can work, more on digital marketings and also some transformations, because you have the resources with you.
Chef Bob.
Yeah, just take a little bit of
Everybody, yeah.
yesterday. What happened?
Right.
Yesterday I was in Kuantan.
Uh-huh.
So I just been there for delivering my product,
Right.
my food product. So I take chances. One of the chefs called, Chef Bob, please come to my restaurant and please do some live, whatever you can do live. I'm talking about my food. So I've been there. I say, wow, your restaurant is big. Yeah, chef. They said behind me they have Rokana hotels and Zenith
Okay.
hotels, something like that. So chef, my food is similar like hotels, but maybe the price is a little bit lower, but the quality is almost the same. If you could be there, you can have a look. So when I saw that the food is very, I can say, very high, almost high standard, but the pricing is just 50 ringgit for buffet for Ramadan. So I do some
Live.
talking and review for my friends, all these things. But yeah, from that what I can see, in like yesterday Monday, they can pull it about 50 to 60 pack. I think it's good already.
Right.
Using a live little bit. Maybe it's not on the spot they coming.
Right.
But when to doing this, people and share and those they
Right.
start to coming on the side. I
Right.
mean, this is good things.
You charge them or not?
No lah, because
Influencer.
just pass by and just belanja me for buka puasa. I mean,
Okay,
lah,
okay
good
lah.
enough.
So that's your payment,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
Belanja. So I know, very interesting, right? What we just talked about marketing and how you can be clever in collaborating. And I think one of the good things about pandemics, we're cleverer. We work together because we're looking at cutting costs, but then also using then that money, and just being clever without having to lose staff, getting them to do something else as well. So just want to talk a little bit about the digital transformation, right? What do you think? How we can help the hospitality and travel related businesses to recover quickly? What other ideas do you have about how digital transformation beyond the POS system before an upgrade, Mr. Chin?
I think we have talked a lot on digital transformation, but as long as you do not have customer, it's also very difficult
Okay.
for you to do anything because it doesn't make cost effectiveness. Right? Why we need digital transformation in the hospital industry or in F&B industry, especially the hotel. You can do, nowadays you can do online check-in and you move there. You don't even have to see anybody. You can just get your key, use your
Right.
phone,
Right.
and you can get into a room. Right? So those are things that can be done. But with that, will bring back the businesses or the what happened now recover. As long as we do not have a very specific travel policy or travel guideline for pandemic free.
Right.
Just like I mentioned about pandemic free tourism spot or hotel, that could be very important. Without doing that, whatever you do is not so easy to bring back
Okay.
or recover so quickly. Especially, I just mentioned we only can fully vaccinate by 2023.
Okay.
And that will never help us, right? So we have to look another way. Of course, I know that government now is also allowing that for business traveler, you can apply to vaccination first. You can do that, but it's still not good enough if you don't have some guideline to help the industry. So a lot of dialogue need to be done between the agency, the relevant agency and also our industry players. That's very key. We have to look into that and find a solution quickly.
Chef Yao?
Digitizations basically is to reduce some of the work that is done by a lot of you need a lot of manpower. So in a lot of our business, definitely that is a good time to get in all these products or resources because it helps to reduce your costs in terms of machinery or again it's not POS, but basically it's, it's some computerizations in the integrated in your company. So which will cut down on the cost now. If this is a good time to bring that in, as Mr. Chin or everybody already know that there is a matching grant there. And there are also many courses which is organized by the government's agency that is free actually. Digital transformation classes, which is there. So by empower or by sending our staff to these type of courses, basically can get them a new skill
Right.
that will move them forward. That only can be like singular, skill that they have. They are now multi-skill. They are upskill or reskill in terms of for the future business that is coming in. I suppose this is a good time to to probably get all these related in this gadget in for your future business development. They are coming.
Right.
And there are actually a lot of funds that you can tap on.
Right. Chef Bob?
I just want to add a little bit from Chef KK Yao, what he said. You know, now everything is in the handphone. The handphone is 24 hours. You know,
Yes.
just whatever we want to order, anything is all in. I think the chef, in practical, in cooking, they can cook 1,000 people.
Right.
They have no problem. But when coming in digital, they quite, go to website, a little bit less.
Okay.
And then I agree, we need to have some class for people, for the chefs who are affected with this pandemic. Maybe go to the class to do something, to know about this online business. Little bit they can go. So this is more effective for them. Because they want to be a new entrepreneur in business, all these things. Even me also, myself also, I am not so good in digital, but I have no choice. Even now I have to freelance. I have to do my own product in digital. Everyday Facebook, everyday Instagram, everyday whatever website. I have to go and to look what others people to do and offering. So this is a good platform. So whoever chef outside there, please, you cannot just sit down and asking for help, but you need to help yourself and you need to move forward on these things.
Right. So that's what you have to take the initiative and do things differently. Jay Sham?
I think digitalizations in hospitality industry for all aspect of the business. I think we have started with fast food as well. You look at McD nowadays. You don't go to the counter and you place your order. There's digitalization menu board for you to do.
Right.
So this one can adapt to all these standalone restaurants as well. Then the other thing is that you pre-order via your smartphone. Then when they will send you a code. When you arrive there, there is one food big warmer that you can key in your 6-digit code. Your food is already there, it's warm. It's not applicable to all kind of food. It depends on what kind of food that is that you implemented for your restaurant itself. So you have to be very careful of what you want to do, everything there. And also that all the staff currently that they have to be trained, to be know how to apply this gadget. And the gadget also must be user friendly as well for other people to start to browse through the apply. QR code menu on your table itself, no physical hard menu, everything there. But in our industry, it's very unique that people like to have personal touch. You can, but not necessarily by taking orders. Personal touch can become while you're serving your food, or come and do a follow-up service with your customers, your diners. How the food, everything. Check in how the system is. Our system user friendly. So all these you gather. Then you can work out the weaknesses of the system you have in place, enhance it. That's what that. That's what that.
Right, thank you so much. And of course, we didn't get to this point. I wanted to talk about, because we're running out of time, but even with an SME is looking into data and how they can better understand their current customers and their future customers. But very interesting talking about, technology, how you can do it. Doesn't mean you lose your customer touch, right? You don't lose that, but you can use technology in other ways. Build your profile, and just go out there and do things a little bit differently. Thank you so much for your time, gentlemen. We have come to the end of our Industry Association segment. We'd like to thank our speakers, Mr. Hisham, Chef Bob, Chef KK, and Mr. Chin for sharing their insights with us on Hospitality Asia channel. We will take another short break. Look up our next session on our plug-and-play turnkey solutions company helps F&B businesses, especially startups, during this pandemic. So stay tuned for that.